Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday, January 16th in Franklin, Massachusetts, actually, in most places, whatever. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a lovely day today. It's wicked cold. I think it's like 11 degrees outside. Holy moly, it's cold. But we're inside a nice warm toasty house and we're going to stamp in a minute. It's almost 10 o'clock and we will start. And if you're there, do pop on and say hello. I'd appreciate that. And share it with your friends too. I think you can hit the share button and people can see what we do on Friday mornings. But anyway, I've got two fun Valentine cards this morning. And I'm very excited about them because I love to make Valentine cards. And I don't know why there's a question mark. There's an exclamation mark with a yellow circle. I have no idea what that is. I'm not going to touch it. Anyway, it is 10 o'clock, so let's start. Good morning, my friends. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Barbara here in Franklin. A fun Friday of stamping, so let's get started. So as I showed you in my newsletter, these are the cards that I made. Now, this one was from one of my favorite demonstrators, Sue Moore. She is an exceptional demonstrator, in my opinion. She makes beautiful, beautiful cards. And this is the template that she used. And I actually copied it almost like 99%. But I did change it up a little bit. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But this one is one that I used from the Demonstrator Challenge this month. It's using geometrics, using 6 or 7 pieces of cardstock, scraps of DSP to create a card. So I did this for Valentine's Day. So let's get started. I think I'm going to start with this one first. So let me move this out of the way. And let me move this out of the way. And let me bring in everything that we need for this. So let me bring all this in first. I am going to move this over to the side like this. Lots of paper. I mean, this is an absolutely amazing thing that you can do with scraps of designer paper. You know, when I first started stamping, I thought, what am I going to do with all of these little scraps? And then people got really creative, and I started to follow their creativity, and lo and behold, you can do some really, really pretty things with scraps of DSP. So anyway, this Valentine card starts with the base of real red. Then I took a 5 1/4 by 4 piece and I ran it through the embossing folder, Hearts of Flowers, which is such a pretty folder. Look at that. It's so pretty. It's like little rainbows of hearts all over the place. I thought that was really cute. So that's that. Now, what I'm going to do, obviously, is apply it to my base. Gee, I hope there's nothing wrong with the transmission this morning because nobody's popping on. Everything looks good on my end. It says we're connected to both YouTube and Facebook. So we'll see. Maybe everybody's got things that they're doing this morning, which, after all, it is a Friday morning. All right, so there we go. A little bit of adhesive on this and make sure I get it the right side up. And I'm going to put this on just like that. You know, I did toy with the idea of putting a piece of white behind this to make the rest of it pop, but I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to keep it red. Although next week in class we might try that. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so that's done. So then I have all of this paper here that I'm going to use, different scraps from different kinds of various packages of DSP, and that's the beauty of it. You can use whatever you want. So let's get this piece. This is from a retired set a while back. I actually don't remember when, how long ago, but it's a retired set, and it's basic white with gold metallic hearts on it. I think it's really cute, and of course it's very appropriate. So this is going to go on here. This is my first vertical piece, and you really want to make sure that you press this down because of the nature of this embossing folder. You've got some concave dimension to it, so you want to make sure this is good. You could use Tombow glue, and a lot of people like to use Tombow all the time, so you could use that if that tickles the cockles of your heart. Get it? Valentine's Day, cockles of the heart. Okay, so the next piece that I'm going to put in is, I think I'm going to put this piece right like this. No rhyme or reason here. They're all going to be different. I could follow the pattern that the demonstrator website, Demonstrator Planning Place, had. It was a little bit a challenge. I could do that, and I sort of am in a way. So there is that. Then I think I'm going to take this strip. Look at this. This is all little hearts. Actually, this might be, yep, okay, I think I'll do that. All right, so this is a little bit too long, so I'm just going to take out my little trimmer and trim this and take it down to about 3 1/4 inches. There we go. Just snip that little piece off like that and see if I like that. Yeah, I do. I like that like that. There we go. And then, let's see. I'm going to put this almost to the edge like this. That's looking good to my eyeballs so far. And then I'm going to take this little piece and I'm going to put that over like that. Actually, before I do that, let me see. I'm going to take this piece, I think. Yep, I'm going to put this up at the top like this. And this was a cascading effect of hearts. There was a preponderance on the bottom, and then it kind of slowed down, kind of like snowflakes, you know. It starts out at the top with a lot, and then when they fall to the earth, they're scattered. But this is the same kind of idea. There were a lot of hearts at the bottom and a few at the top, and this was the very, very top. So I kind of like that. Then let's see, what else am I going to do here? I think I am going to, you know what? I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to trim this out to maybe 1/2 inch. I like the stripes on the back. Look at how cute they're. Actually, a little bit more. Let's go to 1/2 inch. There we go. I love having a little trimmer. Little trimmers are fun. And it stays so sharp. It's amazing. All right, let's put this in and see what this looks like. I think I might put this like this. And you know what? I'm going to cut this down. I don't want it as long as that. So I think we'll go here. So maybe I'll have 2. I don't know. We'll see. All right, there's that. And let's see. Yeah, I think I'll do that there. And then I'm going to put this on like this. This is kind of fun. I like the fact that it's I change it up a little bit. So some overlap and some are a little bit shorter or longer, whatever you want to say here. And then I'm going to put this one. Let's put this one like this. Yep. And then I think I'm done with my geometrics. Let's see. There we go. I really hope there's nothing wrong with my setup this morning because nobody is popping on, and that's unusual. That's truly unusual. Okay, so that part is done. Then the next thing is I want to take the word, I want to take a heart. And what I did was I used one of my hot punches. I punched out 2 pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this, I'm going to have, let's see, do I want it this way? No, I think I want it this way. I'm going to have the gold shadow, the designer series paper. So let's put a little bit of adhesive on this. And then let's put this on like this. Well, and now I'm getting worried that something's wrong with my system here. Ugh, I don't like it when that happens, folks. Ugh. Something seems to be wrong because nobody is with me this morning. At least they're not, it's not popping up there. Okay, 3 dimensionals for this. Let's poke those little pieces of paper right off. And then we can get this on. And I think what I'm going to do, whoops, I don't want the dimensional packing paper. I think I'm going to offset it a little bit. I think I'm going to put it here like this. Yep, I'm liking that. All right, I'll put that there. And then my little message says Happy Valentine's Day. So I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. I probably will use 3 because there's a lot of paper there. And I want to make sure it's going to stick nicely. So let's take this off. Okay. And let's do this. I'm going to put this in like this. Do I want it? Yep, I want it like this. Oh, I'm very happy with the way this is looking. How cute is that? And now I'm going to take some of the little hearts. I already punched these out with my little tiny heart punch. So I've got a bunch of them here. So let's take my small mini dimensionals and add some on. Now on the first card, I think I put 7. I don't know how many I'm going to put on this one. We'll figure this out as we go along here. So here's the first one. I think I'm going to put the first one right like that. And then I'm going to put another one. Because you know I have to have an odd number, because otherwise it would drive my head crazy. There's another one there. And then let's put another one like right here. Yep, like right there. And then let's see. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I need either one more or 3 more. Let's see. I think this might be good. Let's try this one. All right, I think I'm going to put that there. All right, there's 5. I think that's really stinking cute. What do you think? I love it. I think it's really cute. Look at that. That's a really cute card. Then for the inside, I think I can save these for my peeps who come next week. All right, so for my inside, I took a piece of 5 1/4 by 4, and I simply put a piece of this DSP at the bottom of it. I don't know what I'm going to do for the inside, so I'm just going to leave that blank right now because I don't know which person is going to get this. But because it could say something really mushy, or it could say something loving and generic. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Whoa, I got to get my adhesive eraser and take care of this little mess that I created. Look at that. See those little globs of adhesive? We got to get those taken care of. All right, so there's that. And then let me take this and just clean that off and clean this off. There we go. Okay, there's this. So there is the first card, and of course we have to have an envelope. So let's get the envelope ready. I'm going to use the hearts, the multi layers of hearts in different colors. By the way, this is Bubble Bath and Real Red. So let's take my envelope and add some adhesive to this. I know a lot of people had this week problems with Verizon because something happened to their system and we weren't able to use our phones. So anyway, I think it's fixed. I hope it's fixed. Maybe that's what the problem is. I have no clue. All right, so let's trim this out. Trim this out. Gosh, I love designer paper. It's amazing how people can come up with these patterns and colors and contrast, and just so it adds something very nice to your project. So there is my flap. Look at that. Whoops. There's my flap. And here's my card. What do you think? What do you think, peeps? I love it. I think it's very cute. I think people will be happy. And you know what? As I said, no 2 cards are going to be the same. No 2 cards are going to be the same because you're going to put your papers on in however you want, whatever configuration appeals to your eye. But that's the beauty and the fun of it. Okay, so there's the first one. Now, let's get to the second one. And here is this one. Now this, look at how cute. These bees are absolutely cute. This is from the Sweet Bug set. Let me show you this. I love this this set. It's actually a bundle. You get all of these. Look at these cute stamps, and the messages are cute. Love you lots, spread joy, hello friend. And the bees and their expression. Look at how cute they are. They're adorable. I just think it's really, really a sweet, sweet collection. Look at the little caterpillars. How cute. And of course, we've got the dies that go with it, which is very, very nice. So, Sue Moore did this. I saw it. I don't know where I saw it, but I saw it somewhere. And she, as I said, she's one of my favorite demonstrators. She's very talented, very creative, and very willing to share her projects with all of us. So I decided to copy this. I tweaked it a little bit. If you go to her website, you'll see mine is a little bit different, but that's okay. So for this one, I used Garden Green and cloud cover, and then I took a piece of the DSP, the In Color, which is Cloud Cover, and I use that. And then this is Garden Green, and then the little bees are all here. Here they are. So anyway, so let's start. I'm going to do a different one. I am going to use Polished Pink, and I'm going to have my base is going to be white, basic white. Yeah, I'm feeling like something's wrong here because nobody is popping on, and that's really unusual. I don't know what's happened, which makes me sad because I try really hard to do this technology, and you know, it just changes every single day, blah, 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 blah. All right, so let's just carry on. We will carry on. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of the Polished Pink cardstock, and I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to take a piece of that corresponding DSP, and I'm going to put it on. See? So let me just show you the difference. Here is one with Cloud Cover, and here is one with Polished Pink. And you'll have your choice. And I'm also going to do the vertical versus the horizontal. Here was the horizontal orientation of that DSP, and this is the vertical. So let me get this taken care of. Look at the back side of that. Isn't that pretty too? I mean, so pretty. This paper is pretty. I would love to be able to go and watch these artisans do their magic when they're creating. I wonder if they have to have a quiet environment. Although when we went to Salt Lake City to see, and when we went to Riverton, which is actually the workings of Stampin' Up, where the stamps are made and the products are created. And one of the rooms that they had was like a big playroom. I mean, it had all kinds of things in it, games and hula hoops and bean bags, and so that you would get in there and you would get really inspired and come up with something very creative. And I'm sure that that's what the artisans do. They go and they start playing, and then they come up with ideas for us. Anyway, so here's the base of my card. So then the next thing I did was I took a piece of Garden Green. I still kept the Garden Green, and I used the Enchanted, I used the Encircle the Nature dies. I did not use the same die that Sue used because I didn't have it. So I used this one. It's got some cute little leaves on it. I think it's very cute. Oops, there's a little piece here that needs to be poked out. You can do this two ways. You can do this with Tombow, which I'm going to do this morning. However, next week when people come, I think I'm going to use the Sizzix adhesive sheets, maybe, because it is a little bit tedious right here, and you don't want to get adhesive anywhere except on your cardstock. You don't want to get it so that it's going to ooze out, because remember, this doesn't dry, it dries tacky, and you don't want to have any tacky spots on your card. So let's see if I can do this very good, carefully. Let me move this out of the way. Bring this back down. And let's see if I can, yeah, we can get little daubs of this. Hither and yon. Just a little, but I think it might be easier if I did, and I guess I'm running out of this Tombow, but I have more. It might be easier if I use the Sizzix sheets. So we'll try that. There we go, like that. Anybody there? Not yet. There's got to be something wrong. Ugh. It's making me sad. But hopefully I'll post a little thing later on and see if you can get on to the replays. Okay, so there we go. I think that's good. All right, let me put that back in. And then I'm very carefully just going to pick this up. I probably should use my little tweezers, but my fingers are fine. There we go. All right, let me bring this in, and I'm going to very gently put this down right like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to just pat it so that glue grabs onto that piece of DSP just like that. Okay, there we go. Now, the next thing that I did was I took the little bees, I stamped them in Secret Sky, and then I colored them. Look at how cute they are. And I used the Polished Pink on the belly, so on just to give it that contrast. How cute is that? All right, so now we're going to add some dimensionals to this. And what, oh, here they are. Here are my dimensionals. And I can use big ones for this. So I think I'm just going to put 2 on each one of these little ones, these little critters. You know what I thought of? What I could have done is, all right, let's bring this back in. All right, see the, oh, let's see who this is right here. It says 2 people gave me a thumbs up, but I don't see who they are. Oh, well. Okay, so we're going to put one of these little critters like right here. Oh, you know what? Before I do this, let me get my Winky, and I am going to wink this up. Just because I want it to be shiny. Look at how cute this is. Wink of Stella is just such a nice little add to your card. Now, you don't have to. If you don't like Wink of Stella, then of course you're not going to use it. But if you like it, you just go right ahead. And you just very gently laying this on like this. Not worried about if I get a little bit on the DSP. I mean, you know, in my more persnickety hour, I might be concerned about getting it on there, but I'm not right now. It's fine. There we go. Look at that. And it also darkens the color a little bit, which I like too. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put my little bumblebees on with their cute little hands like this. This one's going to go right here. And then this one is going to go at the top. Let's get this one on. And you see their little hands are out. So I actually could put something else there. I'm wondering if I could put one of the hearts. I didn't even think about that till just now. How about if we do that? Okay, now let me just see if these hearts are too big. You know, these are the things that pop in my head as I'm working. Well, anyway, before I do that, let's get these little flowers on. Now I'm going to put 3 flowers on, and I punched these out. I used the Flowers of Beauty dies. Look at that. This was absolutely perfect. Sue Moore did something different, but this I had, so I decided to use it. Perfect size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one here, and you'll notice that the flower has a hole in it. Let me see. I got to ream this out a little bit. I think I'm getting close to the end of this Tombow. Tombow lasts a really, really long time. I really like Tombow a lot. But let's see. Okay, so I'm going to put some there. I'm going to put one here, and then I'm going to put one here. All right, now you'll notice that these have a little hole in the side, in the middle. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to take this and I'm going to put this on like this. I'm kind of smushing it around a little bit. That's fine. Let's get this the right way. Well, for goodness sakes, there we go. And this I'm just going to smush around a little bit so that I get adhesive on most of those little petals so that it's going to stick. And then here's the last one. There we go, like that. Perfect. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to wink these guys up too. I apologize. I don't even know if anybody's listening to me or can hear me or can see me. Whatever. Something's wrong. I'll have to talk to my friends Jamie and Jordan. I'll give them a shout out. Jamie and Jordan at Switcher. They're amazing. They're very, very young. Well, of course, I'm very, very old, so everybody who is younger than me is very, very young. But anyway, they are amazing helpers. When I have a problem, I contact them, and they are Johnny on the spot, and they help me right away. So they're wonderful. We love Switcher. All right, so see, I'm going to put a little pearl in there, just like that. Whoops. And here's another one, like that. Look at how cute that is. Isn't that cute? These little tiny pearls, and just, it's meant for this flower. I mean, just look at how pretty that is. Look at that. Okay, so that's done. So then, of course, I'm going to take my Winky again and get my little bees all shiny up. And then I'm going to see about, look at how cute that looks. It just adds a little bit of extra. Let me see. This is, there we go. I'm getting down on this Winky too. There we go. Yeah, something's wrong. Nobody's here. I'm so sad about this. I don't like it when I mess up, and maybe it's not anything I did. Who knows? Oh boy. Okay. All right. There we go. But if you can hear me and you're not able to post a comment, if you could just send me a little message so I can figure out, or at least try to figure out what's going on here. All right. So that's done. So now my message is on this card. I wrote, "Love you," and that was from, where was that? That was from, I don't know what set that was from. I honestly don't remember. And I cut it out with a 1-inch circle and then the 1 1/4 inch scallop circle. But I'm going to use Be Mine, which I think is really stinking cute. So I'm going to use Be Mine on this. And that came from the Be My Valentine. That's another oldie, but a goodie. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat this morning. Lots of flu going around here. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but it's crazy here. All right, so here we go. And I'm going to put this right in the middle. I stamped it in polished pink, and then I put it on a piece of polished pink. Look at how cute that is, like that. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. And then I do have to add a pearl. I think I'm going to add, I'm going to add one of these like this. Look at how cute that looks. And then, now see, I did say I wanted to see if we could put a little heart. That's a little too big. You know what? I might find a smaller heart. I just thought of that. I mean, because it looks like the bee is holding something or could be holding something. So maybe I have a smaller heart. Not in a punch, but maybe a die. But that would be kind of cute, wouldn't it? If I had a little heart on each one of those in the little hands, the little paws or whatever. Okay, so now we have to do the inside. And the inside, I'm going to take a piece of the corresponding DSP, and I'm going to use it on the vertical, on the horizontal, because this DSP comes in 6x6 squares, and you know I'm pretty frugal, so I like to get the most bang for my buck here. And in order to do that, I cut off 5 inches. I cut the DSP at 5 inches, and then I was able to cut a piece 3 3/4 or horizontally and 5 inches on the vertical, and I had extra left over, and this is one of the pieces that was left over. So that's going to go on the bottom, and this is going to go inside. And again, I don't know who I'm going to send this to, but I'm going to leave the inside top part of it blank. And I did put it on with white. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I could have left it, but I didn't, and that's okay. Look at that. There's that. And then, of course, we have the envelope. And here is the envelope. And what I decided to do on the envelope was to stamp the little bee again. So, let's take the stamp, and where is my pierce pad? Where did my pierce pad go? I bet oh wait, there it is. It's way over. How did it get over here? Who knows? Anyway, here's my pierce pad, and here is my envelope, and I am going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp this right like this. How cute is that? I love Secret Sea. It's a beautiful color. I tell you all the time. It reminds me of the Mariana Trench, which my sweet grandson Johnny and I had long discussions about, because at one point he wanted to be a marine biologist. But anyway, here we go, and I'm going to color it. Now, we don't have these water markers anymore, but I still do, so let's just color this. And I'm not going back and forth. I like to go in one direction. Even though this is a water marker, it's very possible that it could pill the paper if you use too much pressure or if you go back and forth. Remember, we're not in kindergarten anymore. We learned our basics of coloring in kindergarten, but we're not in kindergarten anymore. So there's that. And now let me use lemon lolly, and let's add this in right here to make this bumblebee a bumblebee. Look at how cute that is. And then I'm going to take polished pink and color the chest. So when the person who gets this says, what's this really cute card coming to me with a bee on it? There we go, like that. All right, so there it is. What do you think? Cute, 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 or what? Let me tighten this back up. So there we go. Here we go. Here is what we did this week on my newsletter, and here's one that we just created now. Now, I do have the other colors here that I'm going to use for next week. Actually, I have a whole bunch of them. So there's polished pink. Here's cloud cover, which isn't that pretty? That's what we used for the green. Here is, what's this one called? I forget what this one's called. And balmy blue. I forget what this is. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank with that. And then here are the other colors in the 25, 27 in color set. So we've got Darling Duckling, Cloud Cover. We've got the Strawberry Slush and Timid Tiger. Look at, there's Timid Tiger. That would be really pretty. And then here's another Timid Tiger. This might be a little too dark. Yeah, that might be too dark. But look at, here's the Lemon Lolly. So these are plenty of options that you will have for next week. So again, let's bring me back here. All right, so we're going to be doing Valentine's Day, geometric Valentines, and we're going to be doing little bumblebees. And in the interim, I'm going to see if I have a little tiny die so that we could put a little heart in each one of those little bees' hands. Wouldn't that be cute? Stinking cute. Anyway, so that is it for today, my friends. I do hope you're out there. I'm really sorry. I don't know what's happened with this. I'm not getting any postings. It says it's all working. Technology. Oh, I'm good at many things, but this is not one of them. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for joining in, and hopefully I will see you next Friday morning. And for those of you who are coming to my class Monday and Tuesday, please let me know, and how many of each, and if you have color preferences, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just have a bunch of setups made. All right, friends, thank you very much. Until next